Oh yeah. All right. So, over time, growing up, I had this weird fear, maybe anxiety, of just speaking and speaking out and speaking out what I know and what my truth is. Those are really the fundamentals of it. Speaking what was on my mind. And I think, for me, learning to speak, learning to state what I am feeling, learning to state what my opinion is, learning to state my truth was really big for me. And, I mean, growing up, one thing about me growing up that I can share with you guys is that I was always very quiet. I didn't want to interact with people. I didn't want to voice what I wanted to say or what I had to say. And so in essence, I would just sit back, relax, quote unquote relax. Honestly, honest to God, I was just nervous, even just to talk to people. It's what I remember. And I didn't even want to say anything. I just wanted to sit there and just watch and just see how everything played out. I wanted to see how the interactions between my friends or my relatives, family, see how things played out and just sit there and just watch and be quiet and not say a word. Just be a wallflower, just watch. One of the things that I know in learning to speak is that, and Jordan Peterson said this, and that really made sense to me, is that most of my life I've been doing the wrong thing. Most of my life I had just been silent, and I wasn't voicing what I needed to say. If I needed to stick up for somebody, I would just watch the situation play out and a fight would break out, and an argument would happen. Someone would say something really nasty to one of my friends or family, and they would just that thing that happens when someone gets a remark or a comment said at them, and then they just cave in, and they're so brought down, dude. I mean, the power of our words are incredible. So incredible. And I think that was one of the things that I was afraid of, was using my words, because at the same time, I had this underlying feeling that I didn't realize that it was this other fundamental of it with words, was there is power. And so the words can either make you or break you. And they can make a person, build up a person, or they can break them down, shatter them at their lowest or their innermost being, because of what words can do. And Jordan Peterson said this: the worst thing that you could do is be silent and not say a thing. It kind of goes back to that one concept. I don't know if I'm quoting it right, but it's something about how one way that evil prevails is when good men do nothing. And so, I kind of thought about that quote and what that meant. And, tying it into Jordan Peterson, and what he said was that, tying into what Jordan Peterson said was that, if we're just sitting back and we're letting things go by, there's going to be a lot of infiltration. There's going to be a lot of deception in infiltrating our life and our society, especially with his concept of talking about ideologies, which are very dangerous, in his opinion. He talks about how ideologies are dangerous. And so, another thing that Jordan Peterson said is that in learning how to speak and to do public speaking is to look at somebody directly. Look at them directly and focus in on that person and talk to them directly. That way, you're talking to the whole crowd, but you're talking to one person at a time as you're moving across the crowd. And that's how you can learn to get better at public speaking. So, growing up, man, I didn't even really know how to talk, because I'd always sit back and be the shy guy and be the shy kid and say this and say that, and a lot of it didn't make sense. Doing this, doing these videos, is really starting to help me project and to be more vocal and to just let things flow and to go with the flow. You know, some of them I do scripted, some of them I just kind of do off the top of my head like I'm doing right now. But yeah, you know, in learning how to speak, I would say there are a lot of different ways that we can do it, guys. There are specific workshops for it. I know one of my friends did them, and he was a complete introvert. And I would have to say that too. That was another thing I wanted to say, was I was an introvert for a long time. Not that I don't need time to myself to regenerate and maybe to study or do something, but, you know, I definitely had a hard time talking to people. Now I don't. I'm friendly. I get out there. I socialize. I do my thing, and I do my thing with my friends, and even meeting strangers, meeting people, meeting new people, and finding ways to connect with them. Words are powerful in that way. They connect us. They bring the light out into the world. You know, we can be a light to people, and I think it's important to speak and to learn to speak. You can do so many things with it. You can record on audio, you can do a YouTube channel, you can record yourself and how you're talking, how you stand, how you present yourself, how you're projecting your voice, what words you're using, if you're using a script or if you're just going with the flow. There's so many different ways to learn how to speak, and I think it's important to use our words and to not be silent, like what Jordan Peterson said. Focus on each person as you're speaking to them, if you're speaking to a crowd, if you're speaking to a group. But at the same time, practice. Do this. Record yourself. Take a workshop. Learn how to speak. Exercise your vocabulary. But yeah, now I'm at a place in my life where I feel like I'm getting better. I'm not gonna 100% say that it's a for sure thing that I am doing the best that I can with speaking. But for me and my channel and me as a person and what I'm doing in my life right now, I'm making steps towards it, and I'm making steps towards making it a better life for myself in speaking. So, yeah. So don't waste any more time, guys. Learn how to speak. Learn how to speak. Don't be silent. Voice your opinion. Voice your truth. Voice the truth. Speak the truth. People need to hear the truth. We live in really amazing times and really deceiving times. And the only thing that's going to clear up a lot of the chaos that's going on in our world today is the truth. Learn to speak, guys. Thanks for watching. One really good way to start off my day is to eat eggs. Nothing but eggs. Good protein, good source of fat, and they get you energized. All right. Thanks for watching, guys.